Good morning. Give people a little bit of time to come in if there's anybody who's going to be watching today. All right. I need an intro. I think I need an intro. I still think that the flying cup through this big with a cup. That might be pretty cool. Good morning, Rob. A flying teacup though. Actually, I have several Star Trek cups. Good morning, Harvey. How are you? So apparently, and Thomas, oh my gosh, people are just loading up here. So apparently yesterday was somewhat popular, I guess. Maybe that was because of my wife, because she thinks she's funny. Oh, good. I'm glad you're back in Washington, that you made it back safely. And just a few more days until you'll be hanging out down here. So let's see. Send me a picture. Let's see. Send me a picture of the one you want to use with a solid and different color than the cup, if possible. Back. Oh, yeah, for the background. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll get on that. So okay. Let's see. What day is it today? It is the 31st today. We are last day of the month. It is my grandson's actual birthday today. So he is 4. He's 4. I don't know why that came into my brain. He's a full year old. So technically he doesn't now in my family, we always kind of go off the technical, like you're not your age until the time you were born. So technically he's not 1 until like 10:29 in the morning, I think. But it always kind of backfired for me because my mom would call me at 8 in the morning and wish me a happy birthday. So I'll try to rip off the new Star Trek animated opening. Okay. Hey. All right, we got lots of watchers right off the bat this morning. Say hi if you can. So this is Morning Tea with me. For those of you who are that's spam, I'm not going to answer that. For those of you who are tuning in and possibly think this is live, it is live right now. If it is 9:35 in the morning on the West Coast, or what, 9, 10, 11, noon 30 on the East Coast. So it was funny because I had people comment and say hi, like I was encouraging them to say hi, and then they're like, wait a minute, this is pre-recorded. So if you are catching this in the morning, yes, we are live. So I encourage you, please say hi if you are watching live. Yesterday we had somebody who tuned in from was it Donnie? Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Anyway, we had somebody tune in from Australia yesterday. That was kind of cool. Had somebody from Japan last week. So people all over the world are watching my shit. Oh, and then somebody from Ireland. You're right. And then Bobby, good morning, sir. Young. Oh, that's too bad. Well, at least you get to hang out with your with family, it's not totally a wasted day. Is it actually sunny in Florida, or is it just sunny this minute in Florida? So, because like right now it's sunny. And you guys will have to hold on a second. I gotta grab something here. As I was sipping tea, I have this coffee table that it's glass on top of wood, so the water got between that. Young, I would agree with that, but they say that about a lot of places. So I don't know. I don't know if that's really a Florida thing but I will say it's not wrong. It's been like that here. So Ben, hey man, how's it going? Greetings from Poland. See? World famous. I gotta laugh at that. Okay, so as for those of you new people tuning in, I call it tea with me because I drink a cup of tea. The rules is that I pretty much talk. If nobody's watching, I just talk. If people are chiming in, I conversate with them. But usually, I go when my tea is finished. Then the stream is finished. So, Ben, what time is it in Poland right now? So, because I suck at time frames. Thomas, my oldest and youngest are on the way to Disney World for the youngest birthday. She'll be 30 on Thursday. Did she share a birthday with me? I forgot that. Is that right, Thomas? I saw Jim was on his way back. At some point, I will venture out there with him. He and I talked about that the last time, and he's like, "Yeah, anytime I'm going and you want to come, just come." Okay, another shared birthday. Ooh, almost 7 in the evening. Sweet. So let's see. It was what was it? Yesterday, there was somebody. I think it was Donnie in Australia said it was like 3 a.m. where he was. So, and he was staying up and not sleeping. So he's like, I gotta go. I gotta go to sleep. Well, Thomas, that's cool. I forgot that your daughter and I shared a birthday together. The second actually has, and when we get to Thursday, I will share all the different birthdays that I know who have the same day. But anyway, on the whole tea thing, we have I'm drinking lychee green tea today. Because I don't really drink black tea. I'm more of a green tea person. But this tea I've been looking for in my house because I bought a whole bag of it and then it just kind of went somewhere. It was hidden. Didn't you want to share your birthday with James? Yes. But you decided to induce him today, a year ago. So you didn't want to wait just a couple more days. Come the first weekend of September, we have 10 years celebration of Okinawan Circle in Germany. Ooh. I don't know if I'll be able to make it in September. I don't even know if I'll be able to make it in September to Indiana. I am planning to make it to whatchamacallit? That one place, Florida. But no, Ben, at some point I will make it I'll make the trip. So, because Harvey and I have also been talking about making the trip to go visit Gianluca in Italy, even if Mark doesn't go. So, so at some point, maybe we can just make it like one big trip. We'll visit you, and then we'll go down and visit Gianluca. I think that might be fun. All right, so my lychee green tea. It actually is red. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me kind of dip. See, it's got this reddish. I can't really. It's fruity. I don't know if it's like a raspberry flavor or what, but it's really good. Yeah, Harvey agrees. Yeah, it would be fantastic. I think that would be super cool. Oh, it's been a while since I've had this flavor. This is probably some of my favorite. Okay. Have to go. Keep on the good work, brother. See you soon. Yes, sir. See you. Thank you for tuning in, and be safe. All right. So interesting. So I woke up to a text from Rob this morning, and it was an article. He sent me a link. Oh, actually, he's showing. Actually, you know what, Rob? I'm sorry. He sent me from where Rob is. That's a picture from where he is. That's kind of what it looks like here. So, kind of, clouds, a little bit blue sky. Anyway, so he sent me this link, and the actress who plays the third sister, Moses Ingram, apparently she's getting a lot of shit on the internet for maybe just her portrayal of the third sister, or her just being part of Star Wars. I don't understand. So now it's off of comicbook.com, and like there's a bunch of websites out there that I think a lot of them are just clickbait, because it's like, hey, read this news article and you're going to be so surprised because of whatever. And so it was this thing where it's actually like, because it said that she had called, like she had shared some comments that she had gotten on Instagram, and Disney basically kind of, they had tweeted, we're proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family, and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we only have one thing to say: we resist. There are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist. Now, one of the questions, though, that we had was, were the comments racist, or just because right now we're kind of confused by the way the character is being played? Because obviously she's got a lot of hate there going on. And so, like, when Rob and I had talked on Friday, it was, we kind of see it as she's playing this angry Black woman, which is unfortunately kind of stereotypical. And we're hoping that there is some kind of, there's more purpose. Maybe she tried to date Obi-Wan and she turned her down, and he turned her down, or I don't know. There's got to be some purpose behind why she is so angry. So I go to her Instagram. Now her verified Instagram only has like 6 pictures. And so I was like, so where is she posting this stuff? It's actually in her stories. Now, stories only last for 24 hours, so I don't know how much longer they will last. but yeah, like not some nice language. And she only shared some of the things that she was sharing. So, or that some of the stuff that she got, but like there were comments like, you're not the first N-word on in Star Wars. You were, what was it? What was that? You were a, shoot, I can't remember the line, but it was basically saying that her being hired. Oh, thank you, a diversity hire. And so and so I was talking with Lisa about this morning because I watched all the stories, and I know Finn got the what's his name, John Boyega. He got a lot of shit, and I know that the gal, whoever the actress's name is, who played Rose in Return, in The Last Jedi, she got a lot of shit. She got a ton, like, and I don't know how hyped up it was, like comparing other stuff, but like Kelly Tran, thank you, that she got a lot of hate mail. And I'm just thinking, like, why? I don't understand why somebody would do that. Like, okay, I'm confused at the way that she's playing the character. I'm hoping for a better resolution. I do have a different perspective, though. My wife challenged me on this morning, and I'll get to that in a second. But it's just like, fucking trolls, like, seriously. And I have to think about all the, and I don't get a lot of hate, but I think the last message on my first Vulcan neck pinch video, the one that's only like a minute and a half long, is like, is this one of those fake martial artists? And I haven't responded yet. I don't usually respond to it, stuff like that. But I'm just like, well, in my thought, when I read the comment, I'm just like, no, last time I checked, I was kind of real. Like, I feel real. I don't know. So, all right. So that's what I didn't like. She seemed like a bad stereotype. Hopefully, as she has a better story developed. And so this kind of goes into my, what my wife challenged me. So the character, and this was a conversation that we had this morning, because now with the Academy Awards, and it's been like this for a couple years, that to be able to be nominated for an Academy Award, you have to have like one person of every race and gender and all that kind of stuff. I don't know the exact details, but it's like, they have you have to hire these people or you cannot even be considered. It's sad that they had to make a thing like that, but it also kind of, to me, goes back to that. I want to hire people who are, I would want to hire people for a movie that, or show that are good enough to be in there. I don't want to have to be hired like, okay, well, this one actor is better than the other actor, but I have to hire the other actor because, well, all the actors that came out except for one person were white and this person's black, and I have to hire them because they're black. Like, because the rules say I do. That, I disagree with that. I think that no matter what, it should go to the better person, the better actor. However, the way that she is playing the character. Of course, I use the term angry black lady. And honestly, the way the character has been written so far, it could go to anybody of a female gender because she is playing the third sister. So, in the Star Wars, it doesn't call out a race or anything like that, just that she is the third sister. So she kind of has to be a chick. But of course, I do see that she's a black woman and she's playing this angry black woman. That's why we kind of tagged it as that. Should she get, and then my wife was like, well, maybe, and this is kind of where Rob and I, we specifically, and Rob specifically mentioned it on Friday, was that he was kind of wondering why the woke police didn't go, you're kind of playing this as stereotypical. So like, we don't want you to play the character stereotypical. That's why I believe that there's more purpose behind her anger. But Lisa was like, well, maybe there's hidden wokeness inside that, because who's the Grand Inquisitor? Regardless of race, he's a big white dude. And she's a black chick. And this white dude is telling her she doesn't know her place. She is nothing. And of course, what's she going to do? She's going to play that angry character. And so that might be some of the wokeness there. But here's the thing: is that if that is part of it, yeah, I totally didn't catch on because. And I don't know if that's because I'm white, or maybe it's just written so well so far, and that I'm trying to think forward into her motivation, that it really doesn't, like, it didn't matter, and it wasn't shoved down my throat that way. I don't know. That was just something that she pointed out. So. That is, yeah, that's a good take on it, that it isn't so much woke as I defined it, but a good perspective. Yeah. Let's see, Harvey. The real question is how she know Vader is Skywalker. She might have been a youngling. I see promise in the story. Yeah. So that's one of the big questions. It's like, how does she know? Like, nobody knows that. How does she know that? So I'm almost curious. Now at the beginning, now I forgot to mention, spoilers, but at the very, 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 very beginning, when you have the one Jedi teaching these younglings this empty hand form, one of them is a young black girl that probably looks, I don't know, maybe she's 10, 11 years old, something like that. Height wise, that's about how old she looks. So I'm almost wondering if her character, the third sister character, is actually one of those younglings in the beginning scene. I don't know. Okay. So that was an interesting conversation I had this morning. Interesting thoughts. Now, one thing I did want to say, I didn't, now, as Dan would say, left turn at Albuquerque here. When it comes to school, there's been a bunch of different things that I've been trying to do to promote the school. One of these, I got one of the gals, one of my friends. She is a what is it? She is a She's a secretary at one of the local elementary schools. And she was like, we get these emails every Monday of promoting what is it, employee discounts at different businesses. And so she's like, make up a flyer and then we'll put it out there, like if there's some discount or whatever. So I was like, okay, and so I put together some package. I put it all online too. The website's ready to go. It's actually already live on the website, but it was giving a discount to all Evergreen School employees and for training. So 10% off, which say you have, a parent and a child train. I don't advertise it, but I do have a family discount, which 2 people would actually end up being the family discount generally. So I'm not really out much because it was basically 10% off. So they're only saving like $15. But with that, you have, what's it called? When my friend reached out to the district, the gal that actually put out the emails, she's like, hey, I've got this friend. He has a business, he just opened a storefront school and he wants to provide a discount to students or, to the teachers or Evergreen staff. And the person was like, oh yeah, sure. Let me look into it. So then she gets back to her and she goes, well, we can't do that for just any business. We only do that for the larger companies. And she's like, just the larger companies. And so like larger companies like Nike or Adidas or, like the big name brand companies where they have, for this weekend, come in and get employee discounts, for if you're part of this one group. And so my friend was like, well, how is that fair? She's like, how, as an organization, because there was just a big bond measure that failed a couple times and it just passed. But basically they were like, we just asked these people to vote for a bond measure to give us more money. And we really haven't used previous monies the way that we said we were. I mean, we're building a bunch, rebuilding a bunch of new schools. So that bond did go well, but then there's been other bonds where the money wasn't spent well. And of course, property taxes are going up. And so this just adds more to the property taxes. And it's basically it was promoted as one of those bonds because one levy is ending and this would start a new one. But the new one, they wanted so much money that I figured out that it would actually add another $50 to my mortgage. So they came down with one that was a little bit better. But anyway, her point was, we just asked these people to vote in this bond. These are people, like, this is not somebody who lives in Oregon who wants to promote this. He lives in the district. All of his kids have gone to an Evergreen school. His wife works for the district. Like, these people have been part of our community, are part of our community. Why can't we help promote their businesses? And the gal was like, sorry, don't shoot the messenger. I agree with you. Just don't shoot the messenger. That's just our policy. So maybe about 30 minutes later, she calls back again and is like, okay, have him set up a flyer, send it to me. I'll send it out. I'll go to bat because you made some really, really, really good points there. You know, why are we just focusing on the bigger companies and not the smaller mom and pop businesses? And so I got her email address. I sent her the email. You know, I told her if there was any issues, please let me know. I could change the flyer, whatever. I haven't heard anything back. Okay. That was a couple weeks ago. That's when I was like, this is like, I really want to talk about it because I don't necessarily want to jinx myself, but I don't want, I don't want somebody to be like, oh, well, they did it for him, anyway, and then basically not have it happen. So the reason I'm bringing it up is that this is, if any email goes out, it would go out today. Technically, it should have gone out last Monday, but it did not. I mean, their Monday morning email from the district went out, but it did not have my shit attached to it. So don't know if it's going to go out today, but I totally agree with Thomas. Economic discrimination. That's kind of really what it comes down to. And you had this, people on the lower end saying, hey, yeah, you're right. We should promote smaller businesses. And if he wants to give a discount to the Evergreen employees, then we should send it out. Now, if it does go out, it goes out to, I don't know, thousands of people, which is super freaking cool. But it has not gone out. So, and I don't know if it will go out. So if it does not go out, it is probably because her boss or somebody above her was like, guess what? So anyway, not holding my breath at this point, but it was an opportunity that I jumped on. Actually, I took the opportunity to kind of rebuild my front page of my website, so I could, so it would look a little bit more attractive. So I don't know. And so it is just what it is. Yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh, and when it comes to that, let's get some nitpicky down. The district is actually already getting shit. And, because some of the cuts that they were making now, regardless of the levy being passed, jobs were going to be cut. Positions were going to be cut. This just meant that less positions were cut, but they had talked about that they were going to cut all of these administrative positions. And then, even if the levy was passed, which it did, that, administrative positions would be cut. They'd be cutting a couple teachers here and there, blah, blah, blah. So far, no administration positions have been cut. Not one. Actually, that's not true. They have, in light of, what was it? The whole Black Lives Matter movement and all of this, they created positions a couple of years ago. They called it the Equity Committee. And it was really funny because most of the people on the Equity Committee were white. That was fun. That was something that Lisa thought was pretty funny. But they have basically shut down the Equity Committee except for one person. So that's a thing. But it is, the Equity Committee also was pushing books like, how to raise an anti-racist, white fragility, all the really shitty books out there about racism, white guilt. So, yeah. Good morning, Bill. How are you? No Lisa on today. She has to work. However, once the summer hits, she might be on here more often. So there you go. Now, if my flyer does end up going out, I will let you guys know, because that's an opportunity that is awesome. So, let's see. My brain just so much this morning. I know. Getting ready for the camp coming up. I said yesterday that I was going to paint my letters that I want to put up on the wall. How many of you actually think I did that yesterday? Because technically it was kind of a holiday. I was really productive the day before. Yeah, I was not productive at all yesterday. I watched Star Trek all day yesterday. I kind of caught up. I watched Star Trek and then took a nap, or more, fell asleep on the couch. But that was after, I think I turned off Star Trek because we went to go get, we watched James on the week in the evenings. And so we went to go pick him up. And when I came back, Perry Mason was on. So I really couldn't watch Star Trek after that. So what I'm hearing is bring clothes to paint on Friday. No, my goal, actually, once I get off of here, nobody's at home to distract me. I'm for the most part caught up on Star Trek. Not fully, but for the most part. So I'm going to go out and do the first coat of paint, and then give it some time to dry. And if it needs a second coat, I'll do the second coat. And then I'll be able to put everything up on Wednesday. Cross my fingers. So that is actually one of my things to do. One of my problems is that no matter how productive I want to be, if I love hanging out with my family, but if it's kind of a lazy day, I kind of fall into that lazy day and I start to make excuses in my head. Like Sunday, I don't have any class at all, unless of course some big event is going on. Sunday is my I do nothing day. And there have been some Sundays where I'm still on the computer doing stuff or, whatever. But on Sunday, I try and that should be my break from reality. Sunday really wasn't a break from reality. Saturday really wasn't a break from reality. Saturday, I still did. We had the fight, or the fight. Somebody called it a fight lab. It's not really a fight lab. It's a training lab. It's like a think tank, really, is what it is. And it was actually pretty good. It was good, but it wasn't as dynamic as the first one. We had it was me, Rory, and 3 other people. And so it was good. We covered some great content, but it works so much better with more people there. It really does. So I really encourage people to come out. Now, so Sunday, I kind of use that as my vegetation day, and or Monday yesterday. And so pretty much after this, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to finish that one episode. And because it was like, I had like 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left in the episode. So I finished the episode, and then the next episode started. And Lisa didn't tell me to turn it off. So I kept on watching. So yeah, it was pretty good. So anyway, I'll paint those letters today. And then let's see. There was something else I was going to say. Shoot, I can't remember what it was. Shoot. All right. Well, while my brain tries to think, we've got I see people up there, see people kind of come in and out. There's what is it? Let me, if I can find it. Was it here? Nope. And I should probably have all this stuff like already available up and running. And so you guys just are like, oh, what is he doing? Oh, does he look like he's playing on his computer? Okay. So if I go here and window, okay. All right. So what? That was funny. I minimized it, and that's what happened. That's actually kind of funny. Let's go to this view. There we go. I have to be the bigger one because it's my show. All right, so scratch the 28th. That's already happened. Our next one, our next one is actually going to be the 25th. So, anyway, so we got the Friends in the Art Experience on June 4th. I actually have one person officially registered and a bunch of people saying, oh, I'll be there. So we will see who all truly shows up. And then June 18th, I have a Father's Day weapons defense and retention workshop at noon. I do not have that online yet for people to register, but that'll get there. June 24th is going to be a movie night. We're going to do the original Karate Kid. And if anybody asks me where Jackie Chan is, I'll be like, he's in that other movie. Not to say that Jackie Chan isn't a good actor. It's the Jaden Smith who can't act his way out of a paper bag. Anyway, so July 9th, we have just a regular self-defense class at 1. Actually, between that, on the 25th, at noon or noon 30, we'll have our training lab again, our Think Lab workshop. July 15th and 17th, Bram Frank's birthday bash, which we have, of course, I've mentioned this before, this one's going to be awesome. We're already in plans for his 70th because we're planning a 5-day camp. And that's going to be a little bit spendy for the 5-day camp because people get to walk away with hundreds of dollars worth of training tools and live tools. And so it's going to be one of those where for people, like a lot of people can't just afford to throw down $1,400. So that's what I actually figured. It's going to be $1,400. I could make it a little bit cheaper, but I'm also thinking forward to, extra gas costs, food costs, that kind of stuff. So the minute I can jump on and get some of this stuff taken care of, then it'll be, but $1,400 is going to be the final price. So we're going to have a all-in-one option. You can just pay straight down, 5 days of training, including his normal instructor camp. It's basically two additional days to his normal instructor camp, but you get so much more and you get fed and we're going to travel. It's going to be so freaking cool. So that's going to be for his 70th. Please stay tuned for that if you want to sign up. August 6th, we're doing a crimp user course. That's a Saturday. August 21st, we're going to have a popcorn booth at Union Volleyball's grass tournament. October 1st and 2nd, it's a Friday or Saturday, Sunday. That's Jim Korn's autumn camp. And then we have the HKI camp October 7th and 8th, which is the next weekend. And then we have November 4th, we have Dan Anderson's 10th Dawn seminar. And there's a name for it. I just can't remember the name. just when I put this together, that's what I typed out. So I'm sure Dan will give me crap later for that, but that's okay. Let's see. So we don't need to share that anymore. That's just me. All right. So there we got that out of the way. And I still got quite a bit of tea. This is some really good tea. I'll have to share this guys with you. I'll have to share you guys with this. See, this is kind of where my brain is going. Ooh, it's blue sky. No, oh, there's clouds on that side of the house, but no clouds on that side of the house. So, which is good. All right. Ooh, birthdays. We do have birthdays today, I think. So Michael Perella, I don't know how many of you guys know him. He's a martial artist. He's actually the guy who put together I Love Kickboxing. So I think there's only one I Love Kickboxing left out here in the Portland, Vancouver area. There used to be one right down the road from me. In fact, he actually used to have anybody could sign up for a what is it called? I can't think of the word. Starts with an F. Franchise. But then he limited it to martial arts schools couldn't be, he wasn't allowing any new martial arts schools to have the fitness or his I Love Kickboxing thing. So franchises could only be standalones. So, but the one down the street, that's gone. That kind of, when COVID hit, that's gone. But anyway, I've heard good and bad things about him, but I'm sure people have heard good and bad things about me. So it is what it is. Never met him personally, but he is a friend of mine on Facebook. So there is that. And then when it comes to, I don't really have any other, hold on a second. Let me double check that while I sit here, because I don't want to say, oh, that's not his, there's no more birthdays, because you never know. There might be more birthdays. Oh, a guy named Stephen Bryan. Don't know I am friends with a bunch of people on Facebook. I just don't know. I'm usually friends with them because they're martial artists. I don't know who they are. Sorry. Let's see. Let's go to the calendar. What have we been working on with Star Trek? So, 30 days was now this is the joke. So yesterday I was talking about the last one that I remember watching was 30 days, but I don't remember how it ended. And so I was just going to watch the last part. And this is how bad my memory is that I thought I only had 10 or 15 minutes to go, but it actually was, I had actually finished the episode. So, and then when that episode ended, the new one started and Lisa just kept on letting me watch. So it is what it is. I saw something else pop up. I need a personal assistant. I might, but I can't pay anybody. So maybe it's just out of notoriety that I was Sensei Mish's personal assistant. I don't know. Anyway, so 30 days, that was the one with Tom Paris. He tried to be the bigger man and got thrown in the brig for 30 days and became an ensign. He was reduced in rank. Counterpoint, Voyager's going through this area of space where they're like checked at all these different points because they can't be harboring any telepaths. And so, of course, they've got 2 Vulcans on there. And of course, they are carrying telepaths that, I don't know, like 13 people, I think, 10, 15 people. I can't remember how. Anyway, so they're harboring them, trying to get them to a safe spot. And then the main dude, the main inspector, then comes to her and goes, "Oh, I'm not doing, or I want to defect. I want to come to you." And well, big surprise, it's all a ruse. So, latent image. This is basically the doctor. We find out that they erased some of the doctor's memory because he made a choice of who to save, and he couldn't deal with that choice. And so they erased his memory of it. And then of course it comes back up because he's taking hollow pictures of people and finds this surgery that he did on Kim and Harry Kim, and was like, wait a minute, that's my technique. I did that. And then he starts to investigate, and well, they try and cover it up. And then it's just like, well, you know what? We'll just let him deal with the pain, so we don't have to keep on deleting his shit. Actually, it wasn't, I don't know. I watched so much yesterday. It wasn't a bad episode. There's a good point to it of that we need to deal with our pain to grow and move forward, that we can't just block it out. At least that's what I got out of it. Bride of Chaotica. You've got The Adventures of Captain Proton. What? Yes, it was an interesting episode. Yeah. And I wouldn't even call it filler episode. I mean, it was character building episode, really, if we were going to categorize it. Let's see. Bride of Chaotica, fun episode. They find themselves stuck on a subspace sand barge while Kim and Paris are playing Captain Proton on the holodeck. And then there's these photonic creatures that enter in and basically kind of get into a war with Chaotica, which is kind of funny. And then you have Janeway dressing up as God, what was her character's name? Anyway, a character from that area, from that thing. And if he says, of course, and so it was a fun episode. I can't really get into details because I can't remember them that much because my brain is just kind of going every way. But yes, Janeway getting into her bridal role was fun. I just can't remember what the character's name was. But it was fun because, and it was fun because like she would act and she would pause, like she would be saying something, she'd be talking, and then she'd pause, so she would get the terminology right. For that era, I thought that was kind of funny. Gravity. Gravity. I always liked this episode, and I still like this episode, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because the actress who plays Tank Girl, and couldn't tell you the actress's name, but I'm sure Rob will search it for me. But anyway, you've got she was in it, and but basically, what is it? Tom Paris and Tuvok get sucked into this gravity well. They end up calling it like a sinkhole and get put on this planet, and there's a time differential. And so it's basically, what was it? The doctor's also on there because he was on a mission. Lori Petty. Yes. I trust you. I'm always bad. I'm bad with actors' names. But I don't know. I've liked some of the stuff that she's done. I know that she was in, and it's not a show that I watched a lot, but wasn't she in Orange is the New Black? I think she was in Orange is the New Black, or Orange is the New Black. Anyway, so it's just their adventures in this, on this planet, and then coming back, and then of course they save her. But it was it was kind of a Tuvok story, because you had Tuvok. It started off with basically Tuvok falling in love, and then basically going through the Kolinar. And I don't know if he really went through the Kolinar, but it was like that, because it was purging all emotion, and then so he could basically get over this girl that he was falling in love with. And because he and Tank Girl end up having this relationship, and it's not like he was banging her or anything, but it was just this really intense kind of, they had a connection. And he's like, no, I'm married. There's nothing, like, I'm not trying to lead her on. But anyway, so, but one of the things that I thought about in this episode was, he goes to this Vulcan master basically to get retrained, like his brain refocused, so he wouldn't be stuck on this one girl. Was this essentially a what I don't know, was it an anti-gay camp, like metaphorically, where you have some, like and I know that they exist, but you have, somebody who is gay, and they send him off to this gay camp where they reprogram and turn him into to be a man, and then they come back, and then they're supposed to be straight. I don't know. That's when I see this episode, that's what I think about. At least this last time through, I'm like, I wonder if that's a metaphor for straight camps. Maybe we'll just call them straight camps. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Bliss. Oh, I had a huge crush on her because of Tank Girl. So maybe it is. Now, here's the thing. I've always had, now, of course, my wife's black. She didn't have short hair when I met her. But growing up, it was short-haired blondes. Kind of had a thing for short-haired blondes. So Amy Lawrence, if you're out there watching, that's kind of why. But anyway, and I think that's probably why I've always liked her character, because not necessarily that she's always a blonde, but there's just something about her. There's just something about her that kind of resonates that way. Let's see. Bliss. This is to me, this is a filler episode. You basically have this space creature that loves eating spaceships, and then can change, basically, refocus the brains of the crew to be like, ooh, it's basically to say, oh, it's not this horrible creature. It's this, it's a wormhole to the Alpha Quadrant. So I don't know. It does have a famous, I can't remember the guy's name, and he's instantly recognizable. He plays in it. It actually starts off with him in it. You see him before we even see the Voyager. But so good cameo for him. Good cameo role. Dark Frontier, good Borg episode. We get to meet the Borg Queen again, different actress than all the other ones that we've seen, or at least we'd only seen the Borg Queen once before, and that was First Contact. But it's kind of a switch between, they're trying to get a transwarp engine, and so they find this broken down Borg thing, and so then but it's all very much, they're also playing on the story of the Raven and Seven's parents. So I always thought that this was a pretty good episode. Special effects could have been a little bit better, but then it is TV compared to the multi-million-dollar movies. But yeah, it was great. And then, of course, actually seeing her father as a Borg towards the end in part 2, that was good, because it actually was a 2-part episode. And then I only got the last one I watched, which I finished up this morning, was The Disease. Basically, in short, Harry bangs an alien chick and gets space VD. So, but it's basically, it centers around this one race that is multi-generational ship that is basically just kind of added on to their ship as they go. They're kind of xenophobic, but Voyager's helping them out, and Harry and this one chick, they hit it off. And it's got one of those Star Wars scenes or Star Trek scenes where you know that they had sex, because she's lying pretty much naked in bed and he's standing near the window in his underwear. So unless, of course, he just kind of sat there and watched, Harry got busy. And in fact, he actually admits to the doctor that they had sex. And it's kind of funny because they even play on that their biology physically, even though outside physically looks the same, but they kind of play that genitalia isn't really exactly match, which I thought that was kind of funny. So I don't know. But anyway, so it's this generational ship, they have this, and then they have, it comes out that she's part of this group that wants to leave. And really, you could play that the title of the show is The Disease, that it's his space VD, but it's not, they're calling it love, but it's space VD. And then, but there's these, what is it? I want to use the term, I want to use the word virus, but it's probably not. It's a different word. But anyway, so it goes on there where they're having, it's kind of eating the ship apart. They're not Voyager. Well, they find it on Voyager, but it really came from the generational ship. So anyway, that's the episode where Harry gets space VD. The next episode, I've only watched like maybe just a few minutes of it, but this is Course Oblivion. This is the one where we talked about last week about the episode where everybody gets twinned or gets recreated by the silica or that liquid stuff on that one demon planet. So, which is kind of funny because I remember watching, now knowing the title of it, I remember the episode. I kind of know what happens, but I remember when I first watched the episode, and even the second time I watched the episode, I was like, okay, so they're getting married, because it opens up with a wedding between Tom Paris and B'Elanna. And you're like, wow, they really kind of rushed that. You know, I know that they had a relationship going, but they really kind of rushed that relationship. Like, totally didn't see it. And then when he's standing there in his, Tom Paris is standing there in his uniform, you see that he's Lieutenant Junior grade. And you're like, wait a minute, did I miss a couple episodes? Did he get re-promoted again? Because he's currently an ensign. So there is like, okay, something's got to be up. So, yes, poor Harry. Harry, and actually, and so there is, what is it? When we talk about why didn't Harry get promoted, he does actually have officially now he has a reprimand in his file. So potentially he could have not have been promoted because of the reprimand. I don't know. That's Janeway could have pulled that off. So, all right, but again, I can only when it comes to Course Oblivion, I have not watched the whole thing. That was actually an episode from yesterday. We have 2 episodes today, The Fight and Think Tank. I'm going to try and watch all 3 of those episodes today. Yes, it is a paper thin excuse, but that's what you think about in the middle of the night when you're half watching an episode. That's why I finished the episode this morning. So I'll try and get those 3 episodes watched so we can talk about them tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't really think any major shows came. Yeah. There's nothing new. I'm going to come up with, like I came up with a list for events. I'm going to try and come up with a list for sci-fi shows coming out and dates, because like Rob and I were talking like every Friday, he and I will go live together, whether he's sitting on the couch next to me or he's streaming from Florida. But there's a bunch of other shows that are actually coming out that, like, because episode 5, well, let's see, Kenobi is going to air tomorrow. We got a new episode of Kenobi tomorrow. On Thursday, we have Strange New Worlds. So we'll talk all about that on Friday. So give you guys enough time to watch all that so we can talk about it Friday. And then, but then the Bad Batch is coming back out. Bad Batch season 2 and Andor. Andor is going to be starting in August. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know. So there's like one show, it'll be just this continuous thing. So, all right. Anyway, see, even Rob is hyped for that too. So, okay. Still got a little bit of tea left, but we've been chatting for a little over an hour, but I think that's everything. If I forgot, we have tomorrow. So until tomorrow morning, see you all 9:30 sharp. And because tomorrow's the 1st, I don't know how many of you are going to watch Kenobi at midnight. I don't know. I probably will. I will probably be up for that. But till then, thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, all that nifty social media stuff. And I will talk with you in the morning.